you've done all of this research. You've kind of described how the world has gone through a journey where we start with this like Malthusian population control through propaganda, environmentalism, ending up in our modern day age of social justice and climate change being these sort of what I would call politics of existential threats, where
Yeah.
where it's really a phrase that I think encapsulates how you're able to take something that is of the utmost importance, affects the most people, and use it as a cudgel to hammer other people into like some sort of compliance to
Yeah.
get your way. That's my mental framing on it when I contemplate these sort of things.
You're not off. Yeah, I mean
It,
that's pretty dead on, and that's there's actually you can read the books of them talking about the concept of crisis and why it's so important. And
and
climate change
yeah,
is a purposefully focus group selected turn of phrase that was
and
selected by a focus group to
and
because
we
it's such a good
become
catch-all.
these things have become scientifically engineered in such a way where we gerrymander these issues to their utmost effect on a population and what
Mm-hmm.
the to achieve the outcomes that the planners want. So, with that big framing set, what do you suggest to people who are listening to this and what you can do with this knowledge? Like, and I don't even mean fight back in an existential, like protective sort of way. I just mean how do you guard your own mind? How do you make good choices for yourself and your family? And how do you approach becoming more knowledgeable and maybe having a little bit of influence on the people around you to raise some awareness?
I don't know. I'm still trying to find that.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what I'm doing. That's my whole purpose right now is trying to figure out what to do with this information. Like it's like, okay, you found it. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. Like everyone wants to look at you like, oh, well, that doesn't connect with my view of reality. Well, your fucking view is wrong, and I have the paperwork to prove it. It's not. I don't talk about a lot of things with certainty, but I can only read 100 years of history over and over again so many times before I'm pretty sure you didn't read it. You didn't read the book. So don't tell me what's in it. That's how I kind of feel about this
Did
subject.
you do the homework? No. Okay.
No, yeah, I haven't heard anybody talk like intelligently. And I think the one thing that if I can express anything that I'm trying to do that I haven't figured out, that I'm really searching for an answer for, that I hope someone else figures out, is how to get this information out effectively without appealing to the lowest common denominator of our senses and of our being, of making it some kind of a rivalry situation. We
And I,
have
by
to
the way,
abandon the
I,
anti and pro mindset. It
I want
has
to
to
jump
go.
in and say that that's one of the things I respect about you the most is that you are not sensational about these things in any particular way. Like you try to bring a very even keeled mindset to this and keep the rhetoric and the hyperbole to a minimum, which I, for one, can fall victim to much more dramatically than you do. So I really like that.
Thank you, man. I mean, it's an applied effort. I mean, I'm definitely you know, yeah, I definitely have reactions and knee jerks and stuff like that. And I'm not always my best self and things like that. But when I actually publish my work, I try to really, I'm hypercritical and hyper analytical, and I try to make sure that the arguments I'm making are, more than anything, I'm not really trying to even make an argument. I'm just trying to show you what's happening. And I'm trying to do that without a lens, without my own spin. That's why I can't collaborate with anyone. I've tried to collaborate with like 3 or 4 people. I tried to hire in an animator to help me. Like
Yeah.
I've tried to hire in people to help me get these videos out. I can't do it. I can't do it because everyone has their spin they want to put on this stuff. Everyone hears eugenics, and then when you get the video back, it's like got all this like it's like, look, that's not what we're doing here. We are explorers. We are not here to diagnose who's right and wrong or to
Mm.
impose our view on the world. We're trying to add clarity to other people's views. We're time travelers. We're showing people a window into time. That's my entire outlook, is just a clear window. And I think that's what's lacking. And hopefully at some point it does catch on, because I'm sick of it. It's like every person that I try to actually have an open, direct conversation with, like, the people who are the world, it's supposed to be world leading scholars on these subjects, are the most dishonest people. And I can see right through them, and it makes me sick, because I don't know how to enter that conversation appropriately. And I also don't know how to engage with that type of personality. And on the other side of that, all of the opposition seems ridiculously radical. It's gone from like, oh, well, yeah, oil is the best thing, to where it's like, there's people that are like they will deliberately pollute a lake out of resentment for an enemy.
Oh
The fuck
God.
is wrong with you? Like,
Yeah.
if you're doing, like, if you have, like, you've gone too far. And like, there, like, yeah, climate change is overblown, but it is real. Like, we do change our climates.
Yeah. I
Only a
mean,
fool would actually deny that. No one actually denies climate change, but people have been driven to the point of rejecting, like, no, carbon does nothing. It's like, well, tell that to the people in the biosphere who, had an overflow of carbon in their environment and went brain dead because of it, until they pumped oxygen in. Otherwise, the experiment was going to fail.
hmm,
It has an effect on closed systems. You can't just keep introducing. And yes, it is overblown, because you would have to burn all of the fossil fuel
yeah.
at once, and it's all this radical stuff. But you can't have the conversation always be on absolutes. That's
Yeah.
why the pro and the anti shit has just got to go. I got no time for any of that. It's like, I'm not on your side. I'm here to find out what happened with you. And if I'm missing anything, history's a big place. Please fill me in. And in the meantime, that's what I'm, when I like comment on somebody's stuff, or say like, hey, that's not exactly what happened. That's not me being like a troll. I really care about what happened, and I'd like some clarity in this conversation. So I'm trying to offer it, and I respect it when other people do the same for me.